I just have these kind of boomer moments every time I try to do a live stream, and I've had another one just now. Hello, I am the Artie Dance. You are watching Shockmania here on Rumble and on YouTube, which is the important part. We're on both. So, what I've managed to work out is that I can get almost the same functionality that I had with OBS. And in fact, OBS is providing the signal. I still got no audio for you, which means that when we look at these trailers and have a talk about them, they're pretty silent. Not the best user experience. I understand that, but we're just gonna fight through that, and hopefully, hopefully we'll just get somewhere with it. I'll try and crank the audio up loud, see if the microphone will pick it up, but the microphone probably won't. Anyway, I'm the Artie Dance, and you are watching Shockmania. Thank you, very special thank you, as always, to Lyle, who provides me with all of this stuff. Like he knows where to look and where I can get all this stuff from, and he just knows. And it's so important to have someone who just knows what they're doing. It's really good. So thank you, Lyle. On tonight's episode, if I could call it that, I think I can call it an episode. We're going to look at a couple more trailers. So if you caught the stream that I did like 5 seconds ago, I looked at Crimson Snout, which was a Vietnamese movie. And I looked at, what was it? Jornal Risa, which was a Indonesian movie. But this is going to be a little bit different. So I got more. It's not going to be different. Stupid. What are you talking about? I just got more Indonesians, more English, more French. I think I got a French one there too. Jonathan, if you're back, we're going to look at a French movie trailer. So let's start. Let's start with The Sleeping Woman, which I believe is a French movie. And like I said, you're not going to be able to hear it. So my apologies that you can't hear anything on this one. But I will crank it up. Maybe the sound of that music will come through. Good that it's translated. So I don't actually know too much about this one. What's it called again? The Sleeping Woman. Good one, Dan. Shit. I forgot the title. Forgot the title of it already. It's clearly a very slow start. Maybe I can crank up the audio like that. And maybe you can pick it up that way. To be honest, I haven't actually been paying attention to it. So I don't actually know what to say about this one. It does look cool though. I don't even think that doesn't sound French to me. The Sleeping Woman. I really wish we had audio so that you could have heard that. But that looks all right. French horror movies, if I believe that is French. What are we thinking of here? What's that one? That stupid zombie movie from France a couple of years ago where there's that guy who's the only dude alive and he's really pathetic. Bugger, I can't remember the title of it. That's probably the only French movie that I could think of on the top of my head, horror film that I've seen. And of course, then there's Under Paris, which is that new shark movie, which I would really like to see. And I will see that soon. Let's get on to the next one. This next one is actually a sci-fi movie, and it's from China, and it has been subtitled by me. So you get to watch this one with English subtitles because it doesn't have English subtitles elsewhere. There's an echo because I've turned the volume up so loud trying to get the audio to come through. Let's check out The Captives. Nice graphics there, Dan. So you wouldn't even be able to hear it anyway because it's very, very faint in the actual trailer itself. But the alien was talking at the start, and it's a very recognizable alien sound. This one looks interesting because it's kind of like a doomsday, post-apocalyptic style movie. Alien invasion has destroyed part of the planet. And they're looking for a particular guy that they need to do something with. There are a couple of influences that I can see with this. It looks like Eric Tsang, by the way, famous Hong Kong actor, Eric Tsang. So the influences that I can see from that one, Warriors of Future, the Hong Kong sci-fi movie, clear influence on that one. But also, it appears to have some kind of Starship Troopers, inspiration behind it. That looks actually pretty good. Now, I don't have a release date for that one, and I don't even have a synopsis for it. We kind of had to make it up as we go along based on the trailer. So it's looked like 100 or so years into the future, some kind of doomsday event happens, alien invasion, things go boom. Then the aliens want to come back to take the soul or the body of someone they left behind. Perhaps they planted this person and, like a tree, and now they're coming back to harvest it. Yeah, you know what? That sounds good. That sounds like what the explanation for that film is. Now, wouldn't be a live stream checking out movie trailers if we didn't have something crappy and British, right? I'm not sure this is crappy though, but I know this is British. This is called Starve Acre.
Let's take a breath.
I wish you could hear the audio because it's that British accent.
Let it out.
She said, "Let it out." She's chanting. The guy is going, "Ah, it's gone now, mummy. What's gone?" Didn't hear what he said. What whistling? He said the whistling. And now he's making some weird sound while that. She says, someone is listening to him. Your granddaddy bought this land. He was interested in all the stories about it. Who is this dandelion someone? It's weird. Tell your son he can go now. Nice. It's kind of gross, actually. Tell your son he can go now. Folk horror. Folk horror is always good.
Gods are just, gods are fair.
God's unfair. You can hear it. Thanks, Lyle. Lyle's just jumped on. Lyle provided this trailer. Lyle provided all the trailers. Thank you, Lyle. Folk horror. Starve Acre. So, when it comes to folk horror, right, I can only think of one example recently that I've seen of British horror. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking, no, there's more, Dan. I can't think of them. But Gwen, the Welsh movie Gwen from 2019, I actually really liked it. Have you seen Gwen? Gwen, how do I describe Gwen? I'm getting a mental blank, which is typical because it's dinner time. So I probably want to go and have dinner. But when it comes to folk horror, I think of Gwen. Oh, probably Midsummer. I think Midsummer would also be considered folk horror, right? Maybe. Do you want to move on to the next one? Let's move on to the next one. The next one is another Indonesian one. It is called Janji Dara. Now, Dara is quite a common word in Indonesian horror. So let's check this one out. So it looks like the chick's just announced that she's pregnant. Husband's very happy. They have a blender. Blender seems to be important. They also have furniture that seems to move itself. And she's got a very talkative friend who likes to gossip. Paranormal. I heard her say the word paranormal. So and there you go. They've got a grandmother who bleeds all over the floor. This guy forgot to bring his shotgun and brings a stick instead. That guy is in every Indonesian horror movie. And so it appears that she bought the wrong stroller because the stroller seems to be able to move itself. Nice house, by the way. Don't associate houses like this in Indonesia. She's now telling him that the pram is possessed. He's wondering how he can get a refund for the pram. I'm totally making this up, by the way. They're now talking about a divorce. She wants to give the baby back. Also, they need to look at getting new light bulbs. Oh, shit. Actually, I didn't see that coming. Oh, shit. What is with Indonesia and car accidents? Wow. They're giving the wire work a bit of a pumping in this film. Can I say, drives me fucking batty that Indonesians have shower scenes in their horror movies, and it's always framed here up because you never see anything. Okay, so that was the wrong thing to say, and I apologize, right? It's very politically incorrect, I know. But seriously, come on. If you're going to have a shower scene, think of all the famous horror movies with shower scenes. Okay, well, the most famous one I could think of is Psycho, and you don't see anything in that. So maybe they're onto something. Maybe that's just what they're doing. Maybe they're just following the Psycho playbook and going, well, Psycho was scary, had a shower scene, but there was no boobies or ass in it. So we'll do the same thing. Also, Indonesia's Muslim. So, you're not going to get that content. Now, Lyle gave me this one recently. Lyle gave me all of them. I don't know why it's saying Lyle gave me this one. I'm specifying that particular one. This is another sci-fi one. Lyle, do you remember this one? It's called Hemisphere. Now, because there's a delay in me saying this and Lyle watching it, I'm just going to have to talk a little bit more until Lyle goes, oh yeah, I remember that one. So I might just wait a couple more seconds for the stream to catch up and to Lyle to hear that bit where he goes, oh yeah, Hemisphere. Yeah, I remember you giving you that one, Dan. You never covered it. Well, guess what? We're going to cover it now, Lyle. Let's check out Hemisphere.
Sandra, I have an urgent situation. We've lost communication.
I don't mind looking at these sci-fi ones, by the way. I mean, it's not quite the horror MO that we were going for, but sci-fi is still pretty cool. So the acting is, yeah, there you go. Lyle just said, yes, I remember. So sorry. I also remembered, Lyle, that you need to type as well. So yeah, sorry about that.
4 men forced away on the space station.
The acting's not that great in this one.
This is a suicide mission. If you try to take those guys on, it's not going to end well.
She's saying it's a suicide mission, and if they take the guys on, it's not going to end well. You know what, Lyle? I think there might have been a reason why we didn't cover this one a bit more. It's, what did you say? Actually, you did describe this one to me before, and I have to go back over our chat log to have a look at how you described this one to me. Hemisphere. Do you know what? Because I'm a gamer, Die Hard in Space. That's what you said. Thank you. Die Hard in Space. Because I'm a gamer, I'm thinking of Dead Space, the game, and how that reminds me of Dead Space. Look, to be honest, the acting in that looked a bit suspect. So I'm not quite sure that would be one that I'm lining up for. Actually, on a side note, before we continue on to the next one, apparently Ship of the Damned has come out, because I've noticed a lot of people are watching the preview that we did of Ship of the Damned a month ago. And I'm wondering, why is this video all of a sudden spiking? So it seems like a lot of people have watched Ship of the Damned. If you've seen it, let me know if it's worth watching, because sometimes, I get stuck watching all these other crappy Indonesian horror movies and I never get a chance to watch anything that's actually a bit more interesting, if that is more interesting. Now, getting thirsty. You've seen worse acting. You know what? You're right. We have seen worst acting. What was that? Jurassic Exorcist or Shark Exorcist? They were terrible. When it comes to bad acting, I think they take the cake in regards to just shonky work. And I'm forewarning you now. My mate Wilco has asked me to finish off a movie that was in production, and the forewarning is the acting in that is not that great. So, I'm going to have to bite the bullet on that one and probably take one, because I'm saying bad acting and I'm about to release a movie in a couple months' time on behalf of Wilco that continues that tradition. Anyway, the next one I've got is Hillock Haunting. Do you remember this one, Lyle? I don't remember this one. So this is going to be a fresh one for me. Hillock Haunting. She's saying goosebumps on the back of your neck. There's a sheep. Are there? Something about the feeling of dread and death all over you. So this seems to be set on a farm, right? She said this isn't a ghost. Just put the camera down. Just the framing of that shot. All right. So this chick seems to have inherited a farm, or the guy has inherited the farm. They're a family, and they need to take care of the animals. This is another one with quality acting. I can see, and also quality camera work. I do love this. That is just an epic goatee. Fabulous beard. Okay. This chick has purple lipstick on. Who's the cameraman? The framing of the people is just out. I'm not vibing with this one. The only thing I'm vibing with is that guy's epic goatee. Like, that is a beautiful goatee. Hillock Haunting. Look, I'm not going to say yes, but I'm probably going to say no. That was not something that looks very interesting to me. Let's have a look at another Indonesian one. This is called Utusan Iblis. Lyle's just put a message there. I never say they are good, and 100% agree with you. And I'm not upset that they're not good. At least we're honest with each other. Yeah, and they're interesting. Let's put it this way. They're interesting, but they don't always have to be good. So let's have a look at this one and see if it is any good. I'm wondering if this is one of your knothead zombie movies, Lyle. Utusan Iblis is this one. Now, if you can't hear it, the girl is kind of chanting, singing, while looking like death warmed up. And in typical Indonesian horror, it does seem to have a vibe already going with it. That is cool. The footage in reverse. I don't mind that. Now I'm pretty sure that's Sharifa Danish from Macabre. I'll have to double check, but I'm sure that is her. That looks this doesn't look too bad. And the reason it looks good is because it doesn't appear to be religious yet. Come on, jump scare. Give us a jump scare. That wasn't a great jump scare, but at least it was a jump scare. Now, Lyle, that looked awesome. I'll admit that one does look good. That wasn't your knothead one. So I've actually don't think I've got any of what you say, knothead movie trailers for us to look at. If you're wondering what the heck we mean by knothead, he's talking about a pochong, which are those corpses that are covered in a shroud that are tied at the top that look like they've got a hair bun. And they're just called pochongs, but if you want to call them knotheads, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I find it quite funny every time you say to me, Dan, I found you a knothead trailer. This next one is called the Vordalak. I think this could be French. Do you remember this one, Lyle? I think this one could be French. So let's check this one out. Oh, God. It is. This is the French one. Thank God it's subtitled. I don't have to. So we've got a certain time period here, some 1800s. Award-winning. There you go. From Stieges. What is this? Vampires, zombies. So there's definitely some kind of black magic junk going on here. Like Vordalak. Here we go. Oh. Someone just threw blood on it. What the fuck? It's a drinking blood. So it must be a vampire film, right? Yeah, if we're blood draining, we're vampires. We know what I think of vampire movies. Abigail was a good vampire movie that I can't think of any other good ones. I have to say something. French stuff, I don't think it can be scary because French accent's so nice. Doesn't make for scary movies. The Vordalak. Very Nosferatu-esque. Except Nosferatu was German, wasn't he? Oh, God. Okay. You know what? It's that time where I just need to eat. I've got two left. Lyle, you remember these two? The Vordalak are vampires that feed on people they love. They were seen in that old Boris Karloff movie, Black Friday. There you go. There's a bit of an insight into what the Vordalak are. So they are vampires, which means that I probably won't want to see it. But then, if it's as good as Abigail, I'll have to. Let's check out the next one, Lyle. It's called The Sin. Do you remember sending me this one? You sent me this one a couple of days ago, and I should have got to it. But now's the best time. So we've got two left after this. One left after this. We've got The Sin, and then we're going to have a look at The Devil's Bath, and then you're going to tell me which one of the trailers you think looks the best. I'm going to tell you which one I think looks the best, and then we're going to go. So let's check out The Sin, and don't forget you are here on Rumble and on YouTube. This is the Korean one. That's it. This is probably the one that's going to get the stream taken down off YouTube.
진통제는 계속 먹어야 되는 거예요?
Korea and gore. It's like Indonesia and gore. That's why Korea and Indonesia need to make a movie together. Think of how fucking gory it would be. I haven't seen a good Indonesian, Korean horror movie in ages. So fingers crossed this is good. Do you like The Mask? Coming to you in April. It's June now. That means that's out. We should go check that out. That actually looked all right. I don't mind Korean movies most of the time, but I just feel like lately a lot of the horror stuff that's come out of Korea has either been really shitty zombie movies like Gangnam Zombie, #Alive, or just kind of crappy horror movies in general. Whispering Corridor 6 is pretty rubbish. But then I remember Oksu Station, Ghost Station, was actually half decent. That was, I think, 2 years ago. So I have tried to avoid Korean stuff for a little while because from the highs of the train to Busan and just slowly slip down, I think. The reason why they might take it down, I know you said you found it on YouTube, is because the channel that uploaded it might have the overall copyright to it. So they might not like other channels showing the trailer. So that's the reason I say why the stream might get taken down. I didn't check, but it looks like we're still running live, so that's a good sign. No one's kicked us off the air yet. And let's not tempt fate. So let's go into the very last one of the evening, which is The Devil's Bath. Great title. You have to admit, that's a great title. Is it a great movie? Let's check it out. Oh, it feels like a Midsummer movie. Is this a sequel to Midsummer? Based on true events. Okay. I know you can read that. I'm sorry. This is another one that looks like kind of folkish type horror, though. I'm struggling to see the time frame that this one would be set in. Beautiful moss-covered rocks. Okay. So my guess is set in the 1800s? So the logic. I haven't seen either of those. Has anyone seen those? So this one's probably less horror, more creepiness. Did she just find a baby? She did. The stork just dropped it off for her. I think she's in the Devil's Bath. Huh. Oh, wow, this one could be a bit on the creepy side. This one might not be that bad. The beating the cloaks on the rocks, it ain't modern. Yeah, you're right, 100%. It's certainly not set in the modern times. The Devil's Bath, that looks creepy, and because it's coming to Shudder, that means it's available. It'll be available pretty soon. Okay, so let's wrap up. We've come to the end of the stream. We've looked at, in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 trailers we've had a look at. Excuse me. If you factor in the other live stream that I did earlier before, where I looked at 2 movie trailers, I looked at Joe Norisa and Crimson Snout. That Crimson Snout actually looked very gory, that Vietnamese film. Now, I remember seeing that available to watch about 6 months ago and not watching it because I thought, Vietnamese. I wanted to avoid it, but that actually did look really creepy and good. So I would check out Crimson Snout for sure. So my picks of the stream, I would pick Crimson Snout, even though that wasn't in the stream. Utusan Iblis, that looked half decent as well. And I think, didn't I say Starve Acre looked all right? Yeah. So that would be my three choices for movies that I would want to watch. What about you guys? What have you seen lately? Lately, I've been watching the doll movies from Indonesia, and holy hell, they are not good. The Doll 3 is good. I've seen the Doll 2 and Sabrina. They are not good. So I'm yet to see part 1. I'm doing something stupid, and I'm watching them in reverse order, which is, the dumbest thing to do. And I also watched recently, Lyle, you will kill yourself laughing over this one, Psycho Shark, or Jaws in Japan, which was utterly terrible. Whose fucking idea was that film? You have all of these very good-looking Japanese girls walking around in bikinis, and that's it. Do you know how much shark is in that movie? About 3.5 to 4 seconds worth of shark. It's really bad. Composited CGI that they've probably picked up off a cheap website, although 2009. So yeah, it's probably was found off a cheap website, and that's probably why there's only 3 or 4 seconds of this shark in the movie. It is an abomination to shark movies. Psycho Shark, one that I would certainly avoid. I still need to watch Under Paris. Is that what it's called? Under Paris? No, it's not called that. What's it called? That new shark movie that's come out on Netflix. That one was taking my interest. Lyle has left me a very cryptic clue about the end of that film. So I will definitely need to give that one a shot. Now, there is an Indonesian horror movie that's going absolutely nuts called Vina, 7 Days Later. Which is based on a true event that happened in Indonesia about sexual assault of a girl. And then she was murdered, and then her spirit tried to contact her family to let her know who killed her. Lyle's left a question. Shark versus Ninja not looking so bad, is it? You know what? You, Ray, you're a cheeky man for saying that, Lyle, because Shark versus Ninja, I complained about having bugger all shark in it and just being this stupid action movie where it takes ages to see the shark. You know what? You are right, because Psycho Shark, you don't see it. It's a 65-minute movie, by the way. You don't see it until I think the 30-odd minute mark. You see a fin just float across the waves, and you can tell that it's not even someone underwater with a plastic fin just pulling it across the water. You can tell they've put After Effects or whatever graphics program they were using at the time to put that fin on the frame. It's fucking terrible. And then, of course, you don't see the shark until 5 minutes before the end. But you see more shark in Ninja versus Shark. You just don't see enough of it. So you're right. If I had to pick between the two, you are 100% correct. Shark versus Ninja is not looking that bad, but they're still both bad. Lyle says that Under Paris is fun, and that's everything I'm hearing. It's fun. They're saying not to take it seriously, not to invest too much in it, but the takeaway from it is that the movie is fun. Okay, so I've had a lot of fun on this as well. 30 minutes is a pretty decent enough live stream. Lyle, thank you for joining me. Thank you for seeing the fruits of your hard work, doing all the research for me in finding all of these trailers. I've always said this. I appreciate the fact that you give me the hints and the tips on these movies. And if you're watching this and also think, hey, I've seen some great movie trailers I'd like you to have a look at, Dan, you can find me on Facebook. Just look up Arty Dans, ARTYDANS. Wow, I had to learn how to spell my own name. And then just connect with me that way and send me a message. And like Lyle does, we have a chat. We talk about stuff all the time. And it's really cool that I get stuff from him all the time. And I get lots of great trailers to watch. The Evil Dead on a train flick looks good. Too bad you can't do it. So that's an interesting one. Lyle is referring to an Indonesian horror movie that actually came out in February that hasn't released on any streaming service yet because it's now doing the rounds of other Asian cinemas. That film does look fantastic. Evil Dead on a Train is not a bad description for that one. It feels more like Bullet Train in horror form to me, because the second trailer that you showed me of it was showing like a couple that had stolen money. So that there definitely seems to be, a lot of different characters in that film. Movies on trains are fun. And I think movies on trains would make a great topic for a video one day, because I can think of quite a few horror movies on trains. And I can think of quite a few bad ones as well. Have you seen Rat Disaster? That's Rats on a Train. The Chinese rat movie was quite hilarious. I'm going to sign off for realsies now. I am the Artie Dent. It is 6:15 in the evening here in Melbourne. I thank you for your time, whether you watch this live or whether you are watching the full replay on either Rumble or YouTube. Your viewing is appreciated. If you could do me a favor and follow or subscribe to the channel that you're watching this on, that would be awesome. Otherwise, if you've got a hot tip, send it my way, and I promise, I will catch you next time. Have a great night, everyone. See you later.